What do you do if your husband has a wandering eye? Somebody asked me that, and unfortunately, she was not ready for my answer. So I want to share it here because maybe somebody else is struggling with the same thing. So, first of all, I don't give unsolicited advice. Like, she asked me. So I said, well, what do you look like when y'all are out together? And what are you doing, like, with your appearance at home? Now, this is a touchy subject because I've had some women tell me, oh my gosh, women can't even be ugly at home. Why do you want to be ugly and purposely unattractive? I understand being comfy. I understand, like, oh, I'm home. I want to be relaxed. I want to feel good. But you do not have to equate comfort with ugliness and unattractiveness.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good today, man. We got this beautiful, I'm talking about very beautiful sister jumping online to go ahead and pretty much, man, check these sisters. All right, pretty much check these sisters, man, and let these sisters know, you are not prioritizing the right thing in your life. You're not prioritizing the right thing. You're not sacrificing the right things for the right person. You have many women out here, man, who get married and say, hey, well, listen, I still dress up for myself. I do this for myself. I do this. I do that. Everything is for me, for me, for me, for me. And when a man try to tell you, hey, man, listen, well, I get it. You know, it's about you and everything. But hey, listen, there's just certain things, man, you just can't do. You just can't do, man, that you think I will just accept. There's certain things that you can't do, man, that you think it will turn me on. Once again, man, you have to move a certain way as a woman in order for this relationship to continue, in order for me to continue to have that trust in you. But of course, you got your good old woman, man. When it comes down to a conversation and it does not benefit them, they will always go against it. Hey, well, ma'am, you might need to wear some clothes, man, that can benefit you, man. You know, you don't want a target on your back. You don't want creeps out here looking at you. You get what I'm saying? You know, I want you to look good. You know, I want you can be beautiful, but I'm just looking out for your safety. Women will tell you, why are you so focused on me? Why are you so worried about what I'm wearing? Men, this is the biggest argument. Men should not be focused on me. Men should not be looking at me all while they're walking down the street. Right? All while these women walking down the street with booty shorts on, right? Got the crop top going, right? They're just very revealing. And they're getting upset because men are looking. Well, I make it make sense. But then we'll turn around, right? And say, hey, well, listen, you know, I'm going to dress up well because I don't want y'all creeps to be looking at me. I don't want y'all men to be looking at me, right? And then they start pulling up the statistics that so many men are raping and so many men are this, and women have to go through so many domestic violence. Women can't even walk down an alley, right, at freaking 2:00 in the morning at night without somebody robbing them or some man doing something, which, I mean, once again, like, no, I fear myself. I can't even walk down the alley at night. Of course, what person would want to walk down the alley at night? Stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. But we men will be sitting over here saying, well, hold on, we tried to tell y'all that before. Now, all of a sudden, hey, because the argument is in your favor, and guess what? You are the one that brought this up. Now you're going to sit over here and start throwing statistics and start saying, hey, well, you know, we scared to walk in the dark and all of this extra stuff just to make the men look bad. Once again, of course, your men will be creeps. Most of them will be creeps when you're talking about men and women, because once again, when you're talking about men, they don't have access to sex. So of course they're going to sit over here and try to take it. When you have your men who are just mentally disabled, when you have men who just have mental issues, so they think they can just sit over here and just do heinous crimes and get away with it. Once again, man, that's a very small group of men. That's a very small group of men. But as men will always tell you, you need to take care of yourself. You need to look a certain way. You need to do whatever. And guess what women say? I don't want to hear that shit. So let's go ahead and see what this sister got to say. Because like I said, this sister on point.
What do you do if your husband has a wandering eye? Somebody asked me that, and unfortunately, she was not ready for my answer. So I want to share it here because maybe somebody else is struggling with the same thing. So first of all, I don't give unsolicited advice. Like, she asked me. So I said, well, what do you look like when y'all are out together? And what are you doing, like, with your appearance at home? Now, this is a touchy subject because I've had some women tell me, oh my gosh, women can't even be ugly at home. Why do you want to be ugly and purposely unattractive? I understand being comfy. I understand, like, oh, I'm home. I want to be relaxed. I want to feel good. But you do not have to equate comfort with ugliness and unattractiveness. They don't have to be the same thing. Even when it comes to your clothes outside the house. I know people are like, I wear sweatpants because it's comfy. So is a nice pair of trousers. So is a nice 100% cotton t-shirt. Like, we don't have to wear sweatpants and have our hair looking crazy and have crust in our eyes to be comfortable. We can be comfortable and cute. And so when I asked her this, she was like, well, why should I have to do all of that? I shouldn't have to do all of that. He married me, didn't he? And that's the problem that most of us have as married women. We get married and then we like, whatever. We're married. I ain't got to do too much. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because I can say, and the reason that I asked her this first is because I was trying to figure out, okay, well, if you're doing your part, if you're showing up, you looking good, you smelling good, all the things, and he still has a wandering eye, girl, that man got a problem with lust, right? And I'm not saying people are going to look at things that are appealing. You, even as a woman, might find a man attractive and you might glance. But I'm saying if your husband is constantly looking around at whatever's passing by and you are visually appealing and you are showing up, he probably got a lust problem. And you don't, I mean, that's not your issue. You got to pray for him. He got to take that to the Lord. He got to deal with that on his own. But sometimes it's not that he has a lust issue. Sometimes it's that you're not giving him much to look at. And this is, we don't want to hear this. We don't, because we want to hear that he loves us as we are. He does love you. He loves you as you are. That's why he's still with you. He loves you. He cares about you. Is he attracted to you, though? Because a lot of times we think that because somebody loves us, they have to be attracted to us. No, you can love somebody and be like, I'm not attracted to that person. So if you feel like your husband has a wandering eye and you also are not doing your best to show up as far as like how you present yourself, waking up, doing your hair, taking care of yourself, even outside of your actual appearance, but taking care of yourself like fitness wise, taking care of yourself like what you put in your body, drinking enough water, getting enough nutrients so that your skin looks healthy, you look healthy, your body looks healthy. But yeah, putting on the clothes, even when you're home, finding ways to go from, I got this holy t-shirt on, or I got this stained pajamas on, and I went and got some stuff that I could wear in the house to still look cute and to still look put together. Because the unfortunate thing that happens is a lot of times when we get married, women stop putting in the effort in that area. We put in the effort everywhere else. We're cooking, we're cleaning, we're being loving, we're exercising patience sometimes. But we feel like we don't have to appeal anymore to the physical. And that's wrong. Like, that's kind of abusive. That's like a bait and switch. Because if you were doing all those things before and now all of a sudden you're not, and then you're simultaneously complaining about this man having a wandering eye, but you're not doing your part. And again, I want to emphasize that if you are showing up in the way that you can and doing everything that you can, and he's still doing that, girl, that's not your problem. That's just like when people say, oh, he's going to cheat anyway. But are you doing your part? Because if you're doing your part and he's still out there cheating, then yeah, that's not your problem. He has a lust problem. You can't control that. You can't fix that. But some of us are putting ourselves in positions where we're making ourselves unapproachable, unattractive, purposely and intentionally ugly. And then we're getting mad when our husbands have wandering eyes or when our husbands don't feel as attracted to us. When you have a lot of control over that situation. So I just wanted to share it here because somebody asked, and I was like, you know what? If one person got that question, a bunch of people got that question. And I'm sorry I offended you, girl, if you see in this video, but that's just my take on it.
I mean, I like her delivery. I love it. I love it. I love it. This like so soft spoken, traditional. She's holding women accountable, but also at the same time, she's saying, hey man, listen, if men are just lustful, if men are over here looking at other women, men are sitting over here, man, once again, are just even while you're putting on your best, because at the end of the day, she's saying, take some accountability. Take some accountability. This man is over here going out here cheating, and this man over here looking at other women. What are you doing? And like I said, for a lot of women, man, you can tell them your issue. And a lot of women will rather complain about it and just end the relationship rather than just fix it and just move forward. And then it's like, okay, well, you literally can get the world if you could just do what the man wants, but you don't even want to do that. You don't even want to do the bare minimum. But once again, she is so soft spoken. Oh my gosh, man. Like I said, man, she a beautiful woman. That's a beautiful woman. That's what you call a traditional woman. That's what sisters. That's the type of sisters need to look up to. And her and Daphne, and her and Sister Daphne, because these women, man, seem like they walk in the truth. But just hitting on some of her points, you know, she's saying, man, listen, you have to appease your man. You know, once again, man, there's just some things, man, that some women don't even like. But if it makes a man happy, and you know for a fact it's going to make that relationship 10 times better, why not allow it to happen? Because 9 times out of 10, the man is going to have to sacrifice something. He's going to have to sacrifice something to make you happy. Prime example, a man has to constantly work to sit over here and pay bills in the household, put a ring on his woman's wife, keep food on the table, this, that, and the third, to keep the family function. But if the family doesn't function, then she's going to complain about that. When this man is having to work to keep the household up, she's complaining about him going to work. So it's almost like you can't even really please a lot of women. And that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, and a lot of women will look at this. A lot of women will deflect. A lot of women will say, well, you know, that's his problem. Well, you know, man, I ain't got, man, well, I already got him. I shouldn't have to keep doing this. I shouldn't have to keep doing that. Like I said, man, when it comes down to a woman, man, and in an argument being in her court, man, they will use whatever it takes, man, to sit over here and win that argument. Even if it means they have to go back on what they said, they have to contradict, they have to make up what they contradicted on, they have to make up what they were hypocritical on. They will always, I'm talking about, will always argue to make sure that they win. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that shit happened. You know, I mean, she's saying, man, look presentable while you're in a household, right? You know, hey, look, I mean, you shouldn't have want to have crust in your eyes, but I mean, a man can be like, I mean, damn, like, hey, damn, baby, look a little better. Well, why you? Well, you need to accept me how I come. You should accept me how I become. This is what you married. No, ma'am, I did not marry that. No, ma'am, I did not marry that. Now, once again, we get it. You know, you woke up. You know, everybody ain't gonna be looking good when they wake up. But that's probably the first thing you should do is go ahead and work on your hygiene. But a lot of women don't. Once again, and as she stated at the end of the video, you have a lot of women, man, who will pretty much bait switch, right? They will show one side of themselves. They will show the side, man, that most of your men would want at the beginning of the relationship. Then after that, they get comfortable. Once again, men roles will always stay the same. Women roles will always change, right? When you look at feminism, it went from, hey, well, you know, we want to be able to get out the house, we want to be able to work, we want to be able to pay bills, we want to be able to vote. Okay, that's fine. 1960s, that second wave feminism, they want to sit over here and be able to do everything that a man can do. So they want to sleep around, they want to be doing all of this. So this is where you have all these kids coming out of wedlock, all of these kids. I didn't know this was my dad. So this is my dad. Women wanting to be able to be sexually liberated. Women wanting to be able to sleep around and do everything a man could do. Then you're talking about third wave feminism, fourth wave feminism, where they just accepting what we are accepting now. A lot of prostitution, a lot of women, man, being on the internet, exposing themselves. I mean, it's just getting worse and worse by the day, right? Feminism ain't how we used to be. But you can still look good. But the fact that woman will sit over here, or I mean, damn, I can't look, I can't be like this in my own household. I can't do this. I can't. Well, yeah, I'm just saying, man. You know, I'm just saying. Right? I'm not hating on you. I'm just simply saying, man, maybe you can spruce yourself up. Maybe you can brush your teeth. There ain't nothing wrong with just waking up, and that's the first thing you do is brush your teeth and wipe that ass. That's all I'm saying. Or wash that ass. But women will, why I can't just be up in my house? Why I can't do this? Why I can't do that? Well, man, baby, maybe that's just attractive to me. I mean, like, I ain't sitting over here saying, but you gotta take a whole shower and pull on a dress to chill in the house. I mean, but I'm just saying, man, just be attractive. Shoot, maybe I want to, you know, do something before I leave up out of here. But no, women will argue on that. Right, and then when they sit over here dressed up and they're looking cute or whatever, while they sitting around in the house, you may ask, well, damn, why you over here looking good? Damn, I can't look good. All right, what's wrong with that? I mean, I'm just like, it's like, damn, brain ain't got to be an issue. These are your combative women. These are your combative sisters. They always want to have an issue with something. They will always contradict on something. As I stated before, you can sit up here and tell them, hey, man, you should want to dress better. You should want to look better. Hey, you should want to dress better. You should want to be aware of your surroundings because there are creeps out here. They will tell you, why are creeps even looking at me? There shouldn't be men out there like that. Sadly, that's not the world, right? But then they will turn around, they'll see some stuff that happens or whatever, then they'll jump on the internet. This is why we have to protect ourselves. This is why we have to be doing this. This is why we have to be doing that. And men sitting in the background like, hold on, we told y'all that before, but all y'all could say was, why you policing us? All y'all could say was, why you so worried about us? Mind your business. You need to go regulate those men. And we trying to tell y'all we can't. Right? We can't. And a lot of times you ain't gonna be able to regulate them until after you catch them. But then they will turn around and then say, hey, well, you know, we need to go ahead and so like I said, once again, they just end up contradicting themselves. They just end up putting themselves back in the same position we try to get them out of. And it's just mighty wild, man. But let's look at these comments. Someone says, and for the women who will try to deflect and say men will be men and look anyway. Yes, men will be men and look anyway, because that's just innate. That's just innate. And the fact that women trying to tell men not to do things that are just innate, but then they will tell the very man, hey, well, you need to be understanding of a woman who's going through her hormones. There's so many women, man, who are having this postpartum, or who's going through something when they're pregnant and their hormones change, and they're doing some of the most wildest things that if a man would do, he's getting locked up. But hey, because a woman is doing, we're just going to pass it. Because guess what? It's just hormones, and it's innate, right? We can't change that. But hey, guess what? We're going to try to tell a man, hey, well, listen, you can't be looking at other women. Hey, you shouldn't be sexualizing other women. When a lot of times, most of you women now are sexualizing themselves. But that's a different conversation for a different day. But at the end of the day, men are going to be men. And if you are very revealing, men are going to look. That's just point blank period. And women will once again guilt trip you and make you feel bad. Well, you must be insecure that you don't want me to dress like this and you want to show me out for the world. No, I don't want the world to see what my girl look like. Right. But the fact that you think it's okay to go out here and go show yourself out to the world, and I have to be the one to sit over here and defend you when some man takes it upon himself to do something, it's just mighty wild. Very disingenuous on a woman's part. But she then goes on to say that mindset is the problem. At the end of the day, they have to control their eyes, as do you. But as wives, we owe it to our men to keep up with ourselves, keep up with our looks. If that gets you upset, I don't know what else to tell you. Someone else says, when you get married, you're supposed to step up the sexy, not tone it down. Shaking my head. So someone else says, fine, let him look. But when a guy walks to me, don't say nothing. Same equivalence. Don't play with me. Go play with your mama, right? So, of course, you got a sister saying that. But as I always say before, we'll allow sisters to talk. They will always show their ass. So we're just going to leave it there. Someone else says, women will still find a reason to disagree. Someone else says, I was a stay-at-home mom. My big sister told me this. Don't be looking the same way you look when your husband left home when he gets home. Read that again. She told me to be sure I was cute when dinner was made and I was pleasantly happy and dainty. If I'm even saying that word right. Then she goes on to say, he would have come home wondering who I was looking good for. I would say you. So I agree with this. Then the author says, yes, when my man on his way home, the way I run to get myself together. Who is this sister, man? Who is daughter number 7? Because we need to follow her. Yeah, we need to follow her. We need to follow her because that's crazy. This is what men want. And that's just the bare minimum. People, that's just the bare minimum. That is just, well, let me just take it up a notch. Well, let me clean up butt naked, man, and while my husband around. I mean, like, it's just the small stuff. These are the small things, man, that will sit over here and make a man's day, that will make a man sit over here and take his life for you. But you can have a woman, man, I mean, she wouldn't even do the bare minimum. She wouldn't even sit over here and put her life online for you because she will look at you and be like, that's your job, right? But I mean, which it is her job. So someone else says if she dresses up better when she's out with her friends, right? That means some other men involved. Someone else says fair is fair. Women should keep it cute. If you keep it cute for the workplace and random stray co-workers, keep it cute for your man. Fair is indeed fair. Someone else says, how can I send this to my wife without her getting it twisted? Someone else says, the same thing that pulled him in is the same thing that will keep him honest, right? Now, that is facts, right? But moving up, someone says, how can I send this to my wife without her getting it twisted? You failed already. You freaking failed. You should have been doing this day one of the relationship. But the fact you're trying to send this to your wife all of a sudden, like, it's never going to work. Like I said, man, I got plenty of my homeboys who are simps, right? I mean, simps. But a lot of them, man, and there's a few of them, man, who know for a fact that they're not going to marry their girl, but they can't get out of that relationship because they love them so much. They never really dated many women. So once again, they don't know how to get out of a relationship. They're so stuck on one woman that they're willing to sit over here and jeopardize the whole future for them, that they're willing to sit over here and settle, that they're willing to let the girls do whatever. Like I said, I've seen this personally. I know plenty of my homeboys, man, who are literally going through this right now. But if I can give a message to the young people out here who are watching my channel, if you have a homeboy, man, who is whipped, who is, hey, man, listen, I don't care what you say, right? I love this girl. This girl's the love of my life. You just have to allow it to be. That's his story. That's what he writes. That's what he wants. You gotta allow it to happen because, I mean, my homeboy, his girl She called me a bitch online. She called me the B word online. We was playing Call of Duty a couple of days ago. She called me a B word online. Now, mind you, of course, it was jokingly, but let me jokingly call a woman a B word. Just let me jokingly call a woman a B word. Once again, our relationship ain't good enough to where you can call me that. Right now, me and him, we call each other that all day. But not once have I ever called her out of her name. Why? Because the main situation that we had years ago back in college was because we had some little situation going on in Charlotte. Some brother died by the cops' hands. They had a protest. They said pray for Charlotte, right? Somebody crazy. But she had posted this on Snapchat. Him and her, they decided to add me on Snapchat. I don't add my homeboy's girlfriends on Snapchat or any social media site. That's just not something that I do, right? But you sit over here and add me, right? I see she posts, hey, pray for Charlotte. I remember going to her house one day with him, right? We was all hanging out just to chill. I'm like, damn, girl, you stay all the way out in the middle of nowhere. You don't stay in no damn Charlotte. She tells me, B word, you don't know where the hell I stay at. Like, what kind of, like, damn, that's a way to start off a conversation. But once again, I said, you know what, I'm not going to be petty. Well, I was petty, but I wasn't going to sit over here and respond to that in a negative way. So I said, I just copied and paste what she sent. I sent it back to him. And guess what she do, right? Guess what he does? He comes over here and bro, why are you talking about girl like that? But I know we're reading the same message. She was calling me the B word. She was cussing me out. Well, yeah, I see that, but you, and it's like, brother, like you see that she's in the wrong and you don't even say anything. So once again, man, the fact that it even has to get to that point says, man, you have no control over your relationship. There are plenty of guys, man, who, once again, back in college, tell the story again, the guy walking up, me, my homeboys, we were all just walking in the group, and this dude is dating a girl, man, that is known to be sleeping around. But hey, guess what? He still decides to date her, right? Or whatever. People telling him this. And I just remember it vividly. This man tells us it does not matter about what. Well, I ain't gonna say I remember it vividly, but I do remember walking up the road and this came out of his mouth and he pretty much said, hey, listen, I know what she did in her past, but it's not what she did in her past, it's what she does now. Bro, the way you talking, that means y'all about to be married. The way you talking, that means you are going to marry this woman. Come to find out, what do you think they're at right now? They're not even together. She's in a whole different state getting clapped up. To ask that question, that just tells us you have no control in your relationship. So once again, for guys who are at least even looking at that question, what can I do? How can I send this to my girl without it getting twisted? Ain't no such thing. You have to deal with that at the beginning of the relationship. If you don't deal with that at the beginning of the relationship, once again, she has control, right? She has control. Like I said, I went back and forth with my homeboy. We on a damn phone, right? And I remember just having some conversation. It was four of us. We was all having a conversation. I was like, bro. I'm like, yo, hey, sis, my homeboy, he want to allow his girl to walk outside with no booty shorts. He sits over here on the phone. Yeah, I would. I'm looking, I'm like, I forgot the type of man. I forgot the type of man you were. I forgot that you was out here simping, man. So, of course, man, I mean, you allow your girl to walk out here with booty shorts. You don't care about men looking. So, once again, but he's just being a yes man to his woman, right? Because he doesn't like those arguments. And this just is what it is. And once again, you have to end that type of behavior at the beginning of the relationship. You can't wait until the middle of the relationship. So, look, man, do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it.